Welcome back to the stream. I'm Kev, if you're new here. And today we are diving into some Twitter nonsense on the Bite Size Sports Twitter feed to celebrate. Had a big day today, personally. So, to get through the announcement, I'll just let you know I hosted the first ever episode of The Bounce on the Stadium Rants YouTube channel. So please check that out if you'd like, where we talked everything NBA. And I'll be doing that every Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern. And I've been working on that with some people for a few weeks now. And it's very exciting to finally be able to share it with people. So the way I'm celebrating is by catching up on another old project, which is what is supposed to be a weekly podcast, Bite Size After Dark, which has been modeled after our dear friend Danny over at the Clout Route. Check me out there, mostly Saturdays this week on Friday at 4. But we use Twitter a lot to talk about some crazy stuff that happens on, well, of course, the internet. So what I like to use the Bite Size Twitter account for, among other things, is to collect some of the weirdest stuff that happens in the world of sports. So we will normally do this on a weekly basis, but I've been kind of busy trying to get the bounce off the ground. So we will celebrate by looking at like damn near a month's worth of tweets and talk about them. So here we go. Without further ado, we're starting all the way back in the preseason because this topic's going to come back around, all right? We will talk about the Lakers a few times in this stream. I can promise you that. So, do you remember this? Have you heard about this? Have you seen about this?
Go to the line to try to complete the three-point play.
Yikes. Well, that full screen is not agreeing with us here.
Daniels, third year out of Washington. Go to the line to try to complete the three.
Yikes. Not a good look. Okay. Russ was frustrated and in the middle of an argument with the referee. All right? Let's talk about that. Doesn't really matter, though, does it? Like, this is your team, man. Like, LeBron's there, AD's there. I get that it's Pat Bev. I get that he's a new guy on the block. Maybe he should know better than to call a huddle this early, probably. It's probably the case, but damn, Russ. This is just the beginning, man. This is just the beginning. And a lot of people are saying, reading too much into it, yada, yada. I don't know. There's more. There's more from just the preseason. So we got to go back and watch this. This is from the pregame. This is even worse. This is more, again, just going back to the last clip. It's just showing Russ is disengaged. And I don't know why that all of a sudden the internet has decided to just kind of take a dump on me. But we're not even going to try full screen here. Sweet Jesus, man. Come on. It worked fine. There we go. So Russ is over here talent off. First of all, I don't know. As a former manager and a guy who has helped teams before, maybe I'm being picky here. I like the way you just tossed it at him. I'm going to say it. That's another person, man. I mean, damn. There's LeBron making even what LeBron doesn't even have the decency to hand. He's just going to toss it on the floor. I'm over here trying to dog Russ, and LeBron's like, wait, hold my beer. But did you see that? That's the important part. That's why we're here. His whole team is huddled together. That's their pregame hype huddle. Like, you know what's going on in there. Team on three. Like, that. There is no good reason for Russ Westbrook to not be in that huddle with his teammates. And if you see it, if you look, you'll see one of the coaches is essentially telling him that. We'll have to wait for the clip to play over. Keep your eye on this left third of the screen. You're going to see a coach with his hands up. It's very brief, but you're going to see a coach just kind of, he's giving it to Russ. It's like, dude, what are you doing? You should be over there with your team. Wait for it. What are you doing, man? Um, it's just not a good look, and it's not the only bad look. But what we are seeing there is a disengaged Russ, and we're certainly seeing a frustrated Russ as well because this also happened. Whew, a little game of hot potato. LeBron's just, what the hell is going on here? Again, just the absolute frustration. Like, this dude needs to go. I don't know how he's going to go anywhere. The situation continues to get worse for the Lakers because Russ isn't playing well. He's not even making good decisions anymore. It's not about the fact that he can't hit an open jumper. That pull-up jumper that we'll get to eventually was one of the worst decisions game management wise. Like, that's a rookie mistake. That's J.R. Smith in the NBA Finals level of what are you doing? No sense of awareness on the court. Just a big step back for Russ. And I think it's just one of those things where he is done in LA. He's got to go somewhere else and try again. But no one who can take his salary on and wants to buy him out, would really have. I mean, it's kind of what it's the Pacers, right? I've heard the Spurs, the Hornets. Like, none of those teams have any interest in keeping Russ, and he said he doesn't want to accept a buyout on a discount, which is another thing that I think is kind of dumb. Take 80% and then go get a contract. But if he continues to do this, he might not even be able to get that other contract. This might be the last time we see Russell Westbrook. If he can't adapt, if he can't become a role player, he's done. This isn't going to fly. And we're just kind of laying a base here, and we're going to come back to Russ with some clips. But it started here in the preseason, and there's going to be a lot more, as I'm sure you all know. We are not done with the Lakers here, but they need to be done with Russ. And if you're the Pacers, that price has got to go up, right? Buddy Hield is stroking. But let's move on for a little bit because I have a lot to say about the Lakers, and I don't want to use it all right now. Now, we don't have the Draymond punch clip. I think you've seen it a million times. I don't need to put it on here. Maybe in the edit, I'll throw it up there for continuity's sake. But I enjoy this. This is one of my favorite things about 2K games being made is the non-wrestlers that get made. You have these backlot brawls. This is fantastic. Whoever made this, 10 out of 10. Much appreciated. I did a segment with James on the bounce today about whether or not we were worried about the Warriors, and of course this is one of the reasons we brought it up. And I just have to say, I don't know that any locker room can survive the kind of tension that is clearly there between Jordan Poole and not only Draymond Green, but Klay Thompson as well. Go to the bounce, check it out. We talked about some of Klay's comments after winning that three-point shootout. There was tension last year. There was visible tension on the court with Klay showing his frustration through his body language. I don't know. It seems that the future is Kuminga, Poole, Wiseman. Steph's going nowhere. But maybe we'll start hearing more rumors about Klay Thompson being on the move along with Draymond. Oh, and this is just a reminder. I tried to tell you all how good Benny Mathurin was going to be. Benny swishing nets. Ooh, yeah. Let's have some fun. I wish things weren't as pixelated. I'm gonna have to buy a new internet machine. I don't know what's going on. So forgive me. Forgive the pixels. But you don't need 1080p to see that whooping. Oh my god. Oh, a little bit of foreshadowing for what we would get, well, last night. I love how Ben just looks to the ref. Like, he doesn't try to get out of the way. He's just lets himself keep getting shoved while. I mean, that was pretty. It was a little excessive, maybe. Maybe a little excessive from Giannis, but hey, I love that play. Oh, the duck. Okay. I hope you've seen the duck already, but if not, we'll get to it. This is a 10 out of 10 meme, though. That's why it's here. You know, we are showing you all the goods. That's why you got to follow Bite Size Sports on Twitter. Now, take a look at this obvious foreign substance. And I say that with the finger quote, not necessarily because I don't believe it, but because it's not my claim, okay? I thought it was interesting. I wanted us to look at it. So let's look at it. Let's see if.
Put some crap
Let's
in his
listen
hair,
to
and
it.
now that's
Too.
what he goes to. I know some umpire patted him on the head earlier in the season, but this is what he was grabbing at. His glove.
Let's start
In
it.
2021,
There
James
we go.
Karinchak used a lot of foreign substance. He was dominant until they banned foreign substance, and then he fell down into the minors. This year, he's grown out his hair, and he loves to go into his hair for a little bit of the sticky stuff. It's ridiculous.
Allegedly. I'm going to stop that just to say allegedly. It does look pretty sus, but let's let the man continue.
He was out one inning, and he probably did it 20 times. Look at how he goes in there, grabs something. Clearly, he's using whatever this is. Now, this was him.
It does look like a grab.
This is what he was grabbing at, his glove. He's just changed it. He just grew his hair out, put some crap in his hair, and now that's what he goes to. I know some umpire patted him on the head earlier in the season, but, like, look at this. You can even see some goop on his neck. It doesn't get much more obvious than that.
Doesn't get much more obvious.
Okay, so
let's watch it one
James
more time.
Karinchak used a lot of foreign substance. He was dominant until they banned foreign substance, and then he fell down.
Does look like that hair is kind of sticky,
he's grown
huh?
out his hair, and he loves to go into his hair for a little bit of the sticky stuff. It's ridiculous. He was out one inning, and he probably did it 20 times. Look at how he goes in there.
He does look like he's grabbing. I do see. It does look. There's like some strands of hair on the back of his neck that look like they're matted down. You see where he's talking about him grabbing the inside of his glove. I don't know about that, man. I remember playing ball, being out at second base, working on my glove constantly, nonstop. Some people just fidget. That's another thing. Like, I'm a fidgeter. I'm a beard twirler. If I could have ever thrown even one decent pitch, you know, you probably would have. Somebody be out here making a video about me. Like, why is he always doing this? He probably has some of the sticky stuff in his beard. But no, I just have bad impulse control. My hands got to fit. I mean, it was just a fidgeter. So I don't know. But the hair looks a little more sus to me because that looks like a grab. You know, if you had just shown me the glove, I'd have said, beat it, dude. This is weak. But the hair kind of looks a little sussy, man. I'm not going to lie. But let me know what you think in the comments. You think he is putting some sticky stuff on his ball? Do you care? Do you think this stuff should be legal? Do you think steroids should be legal? Are you willing to acknowledge that Aaron Judge is only the American League home run champion? Let me know in the comments below. Let's get back to baseball. Shout out to Highlight Heaven. Just one of the best. One of the best to do it. Now, I'm not going to play. Maybe we'll go full screen. 2-minute clip. Yeah, I was afraid about that. Okay, we're going to go back to the small screen because that's bad. But you can see the duck here. These guys are having a blast. Oh my God. They're very aggressive. Ducks are very aggressive. Unfortunately, man, I'm worried that this little dude was sick.
Dodgers come back and win this. They're going to have a rally duck. The rally duck, rally foul. The crowd was going crazy when they showed him on the picture.
Like, it is funny because it's
Small mallard either.
animal, doing cute animal things. But, like, I don't know, man. I feel like a normal duck wouldn't be just hanging out in the outfield, right? Crowd is going quackers. Good for you, man. And the duck just doesn't even move. I'm telling you, man. This is what cracks me up is the announcer just he's not able to keep his shit together, and I love it. Would you be able to? It's like, I know this is a serious moment. It's like clutch playoff situation. I'm just focused on the Ducks. Oh yeah, it was a goose. Okay, so you want to see the humane removal of said duck. Here we go. And this is what makes me think our boy isn't feeling so good, right? Like, I don't know. They grab him, they put him in a trash can. Prayers for the duck, the goose. Hope the goose is okay. They got sufficiently booed by the crowd, by the way, for the way that they took care of our goose friend. But, animals and sports. They just go together, right? Oh, and this was a good story. This will pick us back up a little bit because the goose thing was like, that was funny, but then I kind of made it sad because I'm a bummer. Brian Robinson Jr. coming back and being the starter for the Commanders is pretty amazing. Surviving those gunshots. I don't have a lot else to say. I don't have a lot of analysis for you. I haven't seen what he has done since he got back on the field, but I will be seeing it on Sunday because, well, if you don't know, I cover the Colts for Indy Intercept, also powered by Stadium Rant, and I do our Know Your Enemy previews each week. So I did take a look at the Commanders, and of course we'll be watching the game, and you can hear me talk about it with all my Colts co-hosts on the Indy Intercept podcast. You can find that by searching Stadium Rant, subscribing to the Stadium Rant channel, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, all that good stuff. So ad read over. Thank you for your patience. This cracked me up. Okay, so the story here, if you remember, there we go, if the internet will stop being a dick for a second. Just awful. Tyreek Hill removed ping pong tables from the Dolphins facility to avoid distractions and streamed Fortnite for hours. Okay, first of all, PointsBet Sportsbook got this one wrong, and maybe their source was wrong. Maybe this started with the coach because the coach misinterpreted the situation. They removed the ping pong tables because they were dented and they were getting new ones. So coach is like, I praise our guys for getting rid of the distractions, and they're like, yep, got it, coach. So but also, can we talk a little bit just about the criticism? Pardon me, I'm going to move this in for a second. The idea that a professional athlete can't play video games in their free time, or anyone, right? Like, if you have a job, whatever, you're allowed to have hobbies in your free time. So I just think it's weird the way this was framed. Tyreek Hill removed a ping pong table to avoid distractions and then went home and played Fortnite. Well, I mean, is that his study time? What's the issue here with the man playing Fortnite? I don't like it. Let Tyreek play Fortnite. It's part of his life. He seems to know the playbook. He seems to be doing just fine. It's not an issue. It's a weird thing to call someone out for what they choose to do in their free time. Very weird. I don't like it. Speaking of things I don't like, marriage proposals. So on the Clout Route not too long ago, we watched one of these that went wrong the other way because the guy pulled out a ring pop and got smacked all across the face. This is just every man's biggest nightmare. I mean, you're getting the, can we talk about this? Oh, you're getting the, no, I can't. Oh, yeah. Oh, man. I mean, why did he get the camera there? Oof. That's a tough one because, like, usually you expect when people propose for them to be pretty confident and to have, I don't know, have maybe talked about it before. Like, I don't know. I anticipated it's usually something that, your girlfriend kind of starts to nag. Not nag, okay? That's a strong way to put it. But she really starts to hint that she wants to be a fiance. Maybe she'll start talking about marriage. Every time I see a proposal get declined, I can't help but have a lot of questions. How do you get to a point where you're going to propose to a woman and her say no? I don't read the room, man. And I think he's kind of drunk. He seems kind of drunk. He's not wearing a shirt. I'm already against proposing at a game, with exception, okay? Maybe you guys met at Wrigley or something, and so you want to propose where you've met because you've had all these dates in the bleachers and, well, I don't know, whatever. Maybe it's part of your story, and I get it if that's the case. Or Fenway or whatever. You have these ballparks that are historic and means a lot to people. They spent time with their families there. I get it, and that's, I know I made only baseball references, but insert your favorite stadium or arena here. I get you, okay? But if it's not her thing, man, just don't do it. And B, if you're gonna propose with a shirt on, like, I don't know. Unless you're Chris Hemsworth or a Chris Hemsworth looking dude, have a shirt on when you propose. And maybe don't do it in front of a bunch of drunk people. I don't know. Unless that's what she's asking you for. But that's it. I'm done. That's life advice with Kev. We used to have a show called Late Night Tips. I don't get to do it anymore, so that's a freebie. And here we go. Back to the previous clip. Mike McDaniel praises team captains for removing ping pong table in locker room so they can better focus on opponents. Later, Tyreek Hill says the reason the table was removed was because it was bent and they are ordering a new custom designed ping pong table. Do you have a problem with the Dolphins installing a custom designed ping pong table into their facility? I will tell you that I do not. Some people like to hang out at work more than others. Some people are homebodies. I think when a 9-to-5 place offers a gym or some kind of lobby game room, when they have these amenities, we tend to like it. So I just imagine that there are some players out there that also want to unwind with their teammates. I just imagine that that's a thing. So I don't have any problem whatsoever with this. It's just not an issue to me. So I am going to pause for a second. I have been playing music this whole time and it's not registering. So we're going to fix that right now. Get that going again. Because the least, if this music's going to distract me, it can at least be playing in the background. You know what I'm saying? And there we go. We are back. So sorry. That'll help me in the edit. It'll give me a place to cut. And speaking of cuts, look, I mean, have y'all seen Dirk Nowitzki play pickleball, dude? This is crazy. I didn't know this dude was back to being a professional athlete, first of all. Secondly, he's pretty good. I need to watch more pickleball. Let me know in the comments below if you've played. It seems like the kind of game I could play. Not a whole lot of ground to be covered, huh? I love how popular the sport has gotten, seemingly overnight. It does seem to be because there are a handful of former professional athletes that are now professional pickleballers. I think there's been some celebrity pickleball tournaments as well. I don't know. It's not something I'll watch regularly, but one of my favorite things about the current world of sports is just the continued growth of smaller sports, things that were kind of, for instance, like mocked in dodgeball, you know, like ESPN 8, the Ocho. These things started out as incredibly obscure, and just the more of us that there are, and the more things get automated, and there's just more and more room for entertainment, and I personally love it. I love the fact that there's a room full of people just watching four dudes play pickleball. They're entertained. They're having a good time. I am all about it. So look for more pickleball news on this channel. Let's see. Oh, Tom Brady getting fined for kicking someone. Look at that. Carson Wentz has hurt me again, as he always does, to Colts fans. Now he won't be playing for at least 4 weeks with a fractured finger, almost certainly turning his compensation from a second-round pick to a third-round pick, just making an already bad Colts situation worse. Not a fan. I think at some point we may talk about Yosemite Sam Ellinger becoming the starting quarterback for the Colts. Talked about that a lot on the Indy Intercept podcast, so continue to plug that. This was a fantastic moment. So the LA Kings did a look-alike video, and what they had for Jose Altuve I'm just going to let it pop up. Here we go. Here we go. Yeah, the trash can. Boom shakalaka. Oh, I just love it so much. All Astros hate is welcome on this channel. Big fan. But we are going to move on to the next clip, which is the most interesting intimidation tactic I've ever seen. A little yak 'em and a head nod. What's up? Reminds me of that kid from Little Giants. I use these for acid indigestion. All right, we're going to take a quick break. All right, I'm going to be back in about, we'll call it 5 minutes. All right, stick around. We will be back. All right. Let's get back to it. Nothing like a little good sportsmanship. And the Padres fans throughout the playoffs really showed us how to behave. And we'll see an even better, much more entertaining instance of Padre fanhood. But, I mean, that's pretty good. I mean, the delivery. How can you be mad at that, right? How can you be mad at that? Now, this is something you might get mad at, but I happen to love it. Does he get the flag? Oh, it's so much better because he gets the flag. I couldn't remember. It's been a while since I had seen this. Now, technically, the behavior warrants the flag because the first shot was the hard shot. And from the second angle, that was when you could see kind of how the left hand goes up, and he's like, oh, right here you can see he gets hit, and then as soon as that left hand, which is closer to his chest, he just takes the flop. It's fantastic. I have no problems with that. If you do, I understand, but we can agree to disagree on that. Plenty of room for that in the sport in my book. Don't punch dudes in the face if you don't want them to flop. Guardians won. If only they had made it. If only. Well, what do you guys think about Anthony Richardson? I haven't followed everything in college as college football as closely as I might. I have NFL, NBA, and college basketball obligations. So at some point, you just kind of have to take some things off of your plate. So I don't really cover the sport. I try to stay locked in as best as I can regarding top prospects. But this play looked pretty exciting. So let me know what your thoughts are on Anthony Richardson as a prospect. If he's somebody that we should take a deeper look at in the future. Rumbling, bumbling, stumbling here. By God. The dive, I give him about a 6 out of 10 on the dive, but that's okay. That was a long run. Ish Smith, the definition of a journeyman, at least as far as the NBA is concerned. But I hate 13th team in 13 seasons before I move on from that. That is nothing to sneeze at. That's still quite a career, and it's honestly, he should get props for his commitment. That's tough, man. And let's see. Let's scroll back up to it for a second. Houston, what I want you to do is visualize a map of the lower 48 of the United States in your mind. Okay? And come along with me on our Ish Smith journey here. We go from Houston, a little bit east to Memphis, all the way to the West Coast, Golden State, all the way back to the East Coast in Orlando, down in Florida, where everything's a cross country. Then he goes damn near up to Canada, to Milwaukee, then back to Phoenix. So that's back to the west. Oklahoma City. Okay, he's getting a little bit closer to his origin story here with Oklahoma City, getting a little closer to Texas. Then he goes back up to the northeast, which is new for our journey here in Philly. Back down to more familiar territory in New Orleans. Back up to the Midwest with Detroit. Back up Canada way. Then he heads to Washington. I had a good stint there with the Wizards. Some quality time. And Charlotte from there. And now back out west to Denver. What a journey. Quality player, though, I'll tell you that. I'm going to skip over the Astros hitting a home run. That was a crazy, 6 hours of scoreless baseball. Thrilling. Just wow. I mean, I guess at least you got a lot of baseball for your money. When fanhood goes wrong. Our man here weeble wobbles, but what you don't expect is this left hook from the cowboy. We gotta watch it. He looks back like he's gonna get some backup. Like, you believe this guy's talking to me? And then he's gonna rock forward. Oh. And then our guy in the Judge jersey pulls a move that I just never approve of. I'm not a fan of the beverage flinging. All right, because first of all, collateral damage. Who else is gonna get caught up in this crossfire? It's bullshit. You ain't getting other people involved in your shit. Also, people who fight at sports games are nerds. Alright? And not the good kind of nerd that's like cool, you know? It's like the worst kind of nerd. He goes heel over head, dude. It's crazy. Does he fall twice? I think our boy in the black hat falls twice. I think he gets up and goes for some more. Watch him. Keep your eye on him in the back there. He's going to get up pretty quickly, actually, and do more swinging. And then, oh, someone fall. Yeah, I think it's him that tumbles back down. You see a body tumble. Insane. I don't want to beat up the Guardians fans for this, but I don't know. They've punched some people in the past too. So, you know, fans should just not do that. All baseball fans, just sports fans in general. Don't. What are you fighting people for? It's pretty dumb. Cam Akers. Sorry, I needed a drink there. Oh, I was about to just absolutely cough in your face. Cam Akers still has not been traded. And I don't know. I'm wondering if there's any value there. I was so high on Cam Akers as a rookie. All of the fantasy experts that I listened to, at least, were telling me that Cam Akers was the guy. He was absolutely the guy in LA, and that did not work out. He has hardly played. He has rarely produced, and I hope that a fresh start and some new scenery might do something for him, because this guy had some potential. He was a good player in college, so I don't know what's going on there. And none of us knows what's going on in Denver. This was all before any of the airplane shenanigans, which we will get into. Have no fear. The Broncos country let's ride memes. They can keep coming all day. And you know, I've been critical of Tom Brady on this channel in the past, and I'm about to do it again. I think this type of leadership is just shitty in general. I mean, I get that football is not a cubicle, it's not an office workspace. I get that, but at the same time, like, listen, man, I've played basketball, I've played football, only at the high school levels, but again, like, I've been in locker rooms. As I mentioned on the bounce, I was a manager for the University of Toledo men's basketball team, practice player for the women's team. So I've been around the athletes, more so with the men's team, in the locker room, traveling with the team, staying in the hotels, all that stuff. Like, this stuff's just not good whenever you see it, at whatever level you see it. This is a guy who's talking down to his teammates. It's a little tough love is understandable, but I just, a guy who's fucking not there half the time. He's never there on Wednesdays, and there are practices like, look, I get you physically, you're 45 years old, you have some days off, but he's not even there. He's not with the team. We're going to see another clip later where he's practicing on the field while someone is hurt. A cart is coming out into the field. I don't know. That maybe not be as big of a deal, but in general, between the tablets, which we already beat him up for on this channel, and this is not the only clip you can find of Tom Brady just ripping into his teammates. It's just a bad look, man. I don't like it. I get it. I mean, this guy looks like a guy who's going through a lot of shit at home. He's taking it out on his teammates. Now they haven't played well. I'm not saying that they have, but I don't think this endears you to your teammates is all that I'm saying. Moving on. This is something that will not endear Sauce Gardner to Packers fans, and it certainly didn't endear him to one Alan Lazard, who we will see enter our frame momentarily. Oh, there he is. knocks the hat down, says some things. I don't know if it was Allen that convinced him, or if the police officer himself is the one who sent Gardner back, because he kind of looks like he was being led back. Yeah, man, you got to give that hat back to the fans, sir. Excuse me, sir. He did get some photos with it, which is really all you need. He got the meme. But here we go. We're going to see Allen come in. Pow. I don't like it. Yeah, I don't know. I think he got told to give it back. So, anyway, Jets' surprise story in the league. No doubt. Not a surprise story was Robbie Anderson getting kicked out. This guy had problems in Carolina. Sorry, couldn't avoid it that time. Yeah, this guy had problems. He was very soon gone. We see Field Yates tweet about it. He was kicked out, sent to the locker room. Not a happy camper. Here are some plays that I grabbed from Colts Jags game. Oh, that's just a tweet showing how Josh Allen's unstoppable in the quarterback sneak. Boop. Second best QB sneaker to Josh Allen, I would say, in the game right now is Jacoby Brissett. But yeah, Josh Allen's that dude when it comes to this and other things. Okay, we are going to get the audio for this because I want to remind you of this.
It's not Basio this time, it's
Bob
Madden,
Costas
and that means
quote.
a change.
You might not understand it, so I'll explain it after. Have no fear.
Mott is on his way in. Strope is on his way out, pointing toward the heavens.
Yep.
We can only ask or wonder that he is asking some departed relative for forgiveness for this atrocious performance.
Gotta love Bob Costas, don't you? So Bob Costas, in his infinite wisdom, did not know that old Pedro Strop, whenever he left the mound, would always kiss and point up to the heavens. I'm assuming, I can't remember which. Bob was kind of right. You know, he was talking to dead relative. So just a bad look for Bob. I mean, let's be honest. You don't expect your commentary guys to know those kind of details that only a fan like me would know about their team. But, you know, that's Bob being cheeky. There's other videos I have that it might end up on this timeline of Bob Costas doing Bob Costas things. In fact, you know what? I see it right here. So we're going to jump to it here in a second. But Bob Costas has this. I have this issue with Bob Costas. I don't know if he has this. I was going to say Bob Costas has this thing about him, but maybe it's just that I have this thing with Bob Costas. He reminds me of the South Park characters that live in San Francisco that fart into a cup and sniff it. That's my opinion of Bob Costas. He had to sound so cool in that moment that, you know, he's hopefully one can only wonder if he's praying for forgiveness from a fallen relative. Like, oh, it sounded so cool, didn't it, Bob? But no, he's just, and then there's the other part here. Not only is he kind of pompous, he's just a straight up Yankees fan. Absolute stan for the Yankees, just like he used to stand for Jordan. I don't know why that went away, but we'll get to it, I guess, since it doesn't want to play. I'm stubborn. I'm going to try one more time. In 480p.
Guitars mocking Naylor and the Guardians.
It's only Naylor who
mimicking
deserves the
rock the
mop.
baby motion. And as you said, it's a celebration, but a subdued.
Celebration, but a subdued one.
The Yankees have done what they were expected to do.
Yes, did what they were expected to do. Yes.
And they moved on against the Astros, who will...
Yeah. So anyway, Bob Costas is a Yankee fan. He only roots for the big teams. He likes to make fun of players, and he's just kind of a douche. He also always made fun. He got into it. I shouldn't say made fun. He got into it with I want to say the XFL, which was another time that he just came off as douchey to me. Because I don't know, Bob just, for a guy who just has a nice voice, like he's so self-important, and it's ridiculous to me. Speaking of ridiculous, this is one of those Ronnie Lott stories plucked out of the 1980s when men were men and football players cut their fingers off and stayed in the game. Bill's safety, Jordan Poyer, hired a car service to drive him 15 hours from Buffalo to Kansas City because he was not medically cleared to fly due to a rib injury. He played in that game. He paid for a car to drive him out there to play in a game even though his ribs are so bad he can't get on a plane. Like, why, dude? It's one regular season game against the Chiefs. Like, I admire, to an extent, your commitment to your craft and your desire to win. But the Bills have one of the best defensive backfields in the league when we specifically focus on their safeties. I think that's a more accurate way to say it. They have one of the best safety pairings, at least in the AFC. And it just seems kind of dumb to put yourself through all of that for 1 week when you could, I don't know, just stay in Buffalo that week, rest up, and be back, and make sure that you're there for the rest of the season going forward. And of course, I know there are no guarantees in sports, but your odds of not playing the rest of the season go up significantly when you drive your ass 15 hours with busted ribs and then go play football. But moving on. This guy. Act like you've been here. Even the coach, he's like, get out of here, kid. He gives him the ball back. He's like, don't you want it? Bill's face, he's like, hey, what the fuck? I don't want this. Get it out of here. And I love that the guy gives it back to him. I don't understand how you make this mistake. How do you bring Coach Belichick to football? Like, you think he wants that? You think this dude, that we're on to Cincinnati, dude? We'll see how it looks, dude. You think he wants you to bring him the muffed punt? Oh, God. Okay, this is what we were talking about earlier. And I refrained from going into detail because I couldn't remember if it was his teammate. And I know I had touched on it, saying, okay, I can see, and if you were to open that thread, you would see in the over 1,000 replies that there are plenty of people saying, you know, that's what quarterbacks do. This player's injured, he's got to keep his arm loose. I'd like to think at this point he probably doesn't actually need those reps. He's been in the league for 20 years. I don't think he needs to be long tossing. And the fact that it's his own teammate who's getting carted off the field and literally the entire rest of the team is there. You had one linebacker who wasn't there early on. Everyone else is huddled around their teammate. being part of the team. And we talked about it with Russ earlier with his collapse, and Tom's doing some of it now too. Tom's performing probably arguably at a better level than Russ, but this stuff is weird, man. It's not being a good leader. It doesn't make for a winning locker room. I think even 4-5 has something to say to Dude about it, because then Tom's looking. I think I'm not the only one who had a problem with him doing that. Absolutely. And here's just some more Brady stuff. He skipped training camp, takes every Wednesday off, stayed out late this past Friday in New York to party, allegedly. I don't know anything about that. And flew to Pittsburgh without his teammates before today's game. I also don't know about that. But yet he has the audacity to chastise his offensive line on national television. What a loser. And that's kind of what I was saying before. This Harrison P. Kent IV here has a lot more detail and more allegations than I have. But he's got a point nonetheless. Kevin Porter Jr. signed an extension. Good for you, man. Poor Josh Gordon got released. There's some more details to the Porter deal. Giuseppe's old dusty ass gritty. That's probably what it would look like if I tried to do one, so I can't hate. Oh, hey, Robbie Anderson's back. Put a cap on that storyline for now. Yeah, hopefully they get along well. You know, speaking of good for you, man, Chuck, $200 million. I'm very happy for that, dude. This little context here, maybe to the Robbie Anderson deal. Players that receive the most negative tweets. Not surprised by that list. I'm surprised by number 3. How is Bam Adebayo third on that list? That makes no sense to me. Oh, some memes that I will skip. Oh man. This AB stuff is gonna get crazy. It's gonna get real weird from here. Gonna have to speed things up. Gonna have to speed round it. Let's see. This was funny as hell. What is it?
Seeing the same thing in the courtroom.
What's these guys?
Robinson,
no, Your Honor. Your Honor.
Yeah. Look at Littleton.
Littleton's
just egging him on.
He's mocking his argument.
I know you are.
But then Allen Robinson gets the last.
Very Michael Scott
Littleton
move
says, "Yeah,
there.
that's right.
I
Case
pray.
closed."
You got to know and know you know.
This is like watching a law drama, though. Watch these guys. They're both seeing the
We're
same
watching
thing in the
them.
courtroom.
Class. I love it. Oh, I want to hear what Shannon.
All year long, and a lot of people are afraid to say it because they don't want to upset Tom Brady. But here under the Fox umbrella, we use the term fair and balanced. And fair is he's been terrible.
I think
his lowest QBR since QBR has been into existence, 2006.
Dr. Cody
His lowest
Johnson's
touchdown
gonna have
passes
some
through
words
6
for
games.
Fox.
Lowest yards per attempt. He's awful. And now, Jen said, no, hold on. He flew separate. Well, Jen didn't add. He missed Saturday's walkthrough. He missed 11 days in training camps. He doesn't practice on Wednesday. He flew separate, but he quit to holler team. And now he's, every time I turn
yelling
around,
at everybody.
he's in somebody's face on the sideline. If I'm an offensive
Yeah, that's just Shannon saying
lineman,
the
I'm
same
going to say,
stuff
bro,
we're saying.
you playing like stir-fry your damn self. You see ghosts that are not there. How many times did he miss Chris Godwin when he was wide open? How many times did he...
Yeah, and there's 2 minutes of that, so go find Shannon's tweet, or you can find it on our channel there, on our Twitter page. Oh, this has nothing to do with sports unless you find mountain climbing to be a sport, but hey, bears will attack you in this sport, so it's another point for basketball. What would you do other than crap your pants. And also copyright 2022 Bear Attacks Climber. What? Is that your channel? Is that your business? Whoever this person is just came back from this crazy experience and made it a YouTube channel. I have no idea what that copyright's about, but that's hilarious. No rookie extension signed for Cam Johnson, PJ Washington, or Grant Williams. Be interesting. Oh, this is funny. A nice troll job from the Philly fans. I share this guy almost every time I see it, but I'm kind of glad this is freezing up on me because I'd probably get in trouble for that anyway. Yeah, DJ Moore is next. Oh, here's a guy.
Hello, hello, it is me, Philadelphia Eagles quarterback Jalen Hurts. I love you, baby. Let's make love.
Yeah, so there you go. Jalen Hurts is down bad. This is a great meme. Great meme. I didn't even need to extend it. You got it. You understood. You understood it. God, the Broncos offense is just horrible. And we are going to see some of it. This was hilarious. Some lady steals chunks out of the checkerboard and then is selling it online. Auctioning it off. It's amazing. Absolutely amazing. You know what? Oh, there we go. You probably heard it.
That's what's in. Bryce gonna lose, and Manny's gonna cruise. That's what's in.
Man, could you
Give Philly no slack and send them back. That's what's in. Philly going down to yellow and brown. That's what's in. Padres on the loose.
8 guys.
Let's go, Goose. That's what's in.
I think that dude in the front probably
Bryce
wrote
gonna
this.
lose, and Manny's gonna cruise. That's what's in.
I think he definitely wrote. He's
Give
super
Philly
into it.
no slack and send them back. That's what's in. Philly going down
right,
to
enough.
yellow and brown.
right.
That's what's in.
That's what you get when you do that. That's what you get. These guys, Padre fans, if you're looking at someone to blame, there it is. Sounds like Shohei Ohtani's looking for someone to blame. He had a negative impression of the season. Deshaun Jackson to the Ravens. Deion Jackson, our boy in Indy. Dan Snyder wrote a letter and saying he didn't do anything wrong. We've already seen this Yankees clip. It's me pushing some NBA preseason articles, and let me tell you, that face from James Harden, a little bit of foreshadowing, as if on cue. Go back to the beginning. Come on, play it. Watch this shimmy. Oh, he gets him. Oh, it's with the shimmy. Bricked it. He absolutely bricked it. I'm going to turn the music off as we round this out here, because I'm hoping that will help with our internet troubles. It makes no sense. I don't know. I'm going to talk to my provider, man. Maybe they're like throttling me late at night. It'll work perfectly, and then I do these late night streams and shit just does not work. So we're going to get to the end here because we're just hardly able to make it work anyway. You see, that's Jordan Poole's face on Draymond's very green suit. There you go. Oh God, I love the internet. I mean, I don't have commentary for you. It's just beautiful. Check out our boy Sean playing some 2K on the stream. Marcus Smart, Joel Embiid got beef already, and I love it. I'm here for it. Greg Oden's coaching at Butler. Looks very happy to be there. Greg Oden and I go way back. He looked just as happy to be photographed with me, for what it's worth. But this was interesting. LeBron and Draymond giggling over something. Hashtag Draymond to LA. The Hornets are cursed as James Bouknight was passed out in his car with Doritos, among other things. 3-point shooter posting on Indeed. Paolo Banchero's getting after it. Shout out to the Bite Size Sports Car. Our boy David Westergreen driving for us, the iRacing League. Damian Lee hit the big comeback shot. Here we go. This is where we're going to end it. We're going to finish this. There will be a part 2, but it is time to wrap this up. And let's listen to the stupidest commercial of all time.
I call this one the blindfold.
Yeah.
Big bite. The drop it low. The left-handed.
I don't know who is this for.
Here comes the airplane.
Are you guys laughing?
And the most dangerous of all, the rapper.
It makes no sense. And then they put the dangerous thing at
Here are
the
all the
end
dangerous ways to danger which.
They put the hidden content filter thing like halfway through the video. It makes no sense. Like, whoever made this doesn't understand the internet at all. I think Russ directed this whole thing. I think this was all Russ. This might be his house. He might have filmed this whole thing. Hired his own guy to come in here and do this. It's horrible. Just the worst thing I've ever seen. Other than that Broncos offense. But anyway, that brings us to the end here, folks. We will catch up on the rest of the week. Some of this crazy-ass Antonio Brown tweets here as we preview some of the stuff to come on the next Bite Size After Dark. I can't wait. There's so much good stuff still here to get to. So I will let you know on Twitter when we're going live next. So be sure to follow me there. In the meantime, thank you so much for hanging out with me. See you on Thursday, 9 p.m. for the bounce. All right. Peace.